And for more, we head right to the site where CBS Sports NFL analyst Charles Davis joins us now. CD on the call on this one. A week one for all of us as we got a thriller here in Cincinnati. The Bengals once again trying to succeed in the face of their own self-induced issues here. The offensive line did not look great. Coming out of this matchup, the thriller that was, what's the emerging thought for you?
I think that it's still a very good Cincinnati Bengals team, and I'm going to get to Pittsburgh in just a moment, but everyone's going to think the sky has fallen in. I mean, it happened with the Rams on opening night, and it's happening here. And remember, neither one of those teams played starters during the preseason. The Rams have never played their starters. So that narrative needs to go out the window. Don't worry about one night. But Cincinnati, with a brand new offensive line, didn't play them. They only had the joint scrimmages. And they were supposed to cut down the number of times Joe Burrow was going to get hit. That didn't happen. They had a rookie left guard, Cordell Volson from North Dakota State, who struggled, to put it nicely, today. He was dealing with Cameron Hayward. That's not a fair matchup. And he really took it to the young man and really caved in their front line. But bottom line is, they still had multiple opportunities to win the game. Yeah. If you have any questions about Joe Burrow as a quarterback, let those go. This kid, no matter what happens ahead of him, he handles the moment, and he handles it in a big way. Give Pittsburgh credit, Mitch Trubisky, for winning it. But Joe Burrow had his team in position to win it multiple times. They just lost their long snapper. Yeah,
turnovers, sacks. Joe Cool continues to come up big, Charles. On the Steelers side, I think, we always talk about floors and ceilings of players and teams. How does Mike Tomlin continue to get his guys to play at their ceiling?
I just think that he is the master, not just motivator, but he's also a guy that understands the psyche of youngsters, how a team ticks. Look at the number of players on Pittsburgh's roster that didn't play well at other places or were traded or let go. They come to Pittsburgh and they play their best football. A lot of them were highly touted. It didn't work in other places. It's working in Pittsburgh. Mitchell Trubisky getting another opportunity now. Pittsburgh believes in him, and he won the quarterback competition with a #1 pick who played college football at Pitt. So give him credit for that, and he gets the win tonight doing it here. But here's the other thing. They know what their deficiencies are, and they know how to work around them. And that's what they did today on offense. And the defense looked like vintage Pittsburgh defense.
Our guy Charles Davis on the call and always in the win column. CD, we appreciate you. Safe travels.
All right, thank you.
All right, taking a look at the fantasy numbers coming out of this one is, again, Joe Burrow trying to succeed in the face of his team's inefficiencies. On his back for the better part of this game. He'd throw 4 interceptions, and you could put about 2 of those on him. The other 2, guys in his face, trying to make something happen, tip balls, 338, but did struggle at times as Mitchell Trubisky gets the W in his first game as a Steeler and a Steeler starter as he gets his second lease. The former Chicago starter now leading the way for the Steelers. All right, back in the studio with Brent McFadden, the former Steeler, the 2-time Super Bowl champ, wearing that jersey, and a big loss on the defensive side of the ball here, perhaps, for the Steelers. The team does believe that T.J. Watt has suffered a torn pectoral, which will no doubt mean the season for him as he recovers from that. We're talking about a defensive MVP, a defensive player of the year, a guy who should be in MVP conversations the way he affects the game. Had an interception here in this game, had a sack in this game, had pressures in this game. His presence continually felt, BMAC. What does this team, this defense look like without him as they move forward?
Below average. TJ Watt is that type of player. You talked about what he did today. I mean, when he wasn't sacking Joe Burrow, he was in the backfield. He was allowing other people to make plays based on how dominant he was in his matchups. He's a do-it-all type player, and what he put on display today was Defensive Player of the Year type moments on film. And if he's not in the lineup, this team defensively, you still got Fitzpatrick and some of the other guys, Cam Hayward, but they're not at their best if 90 is not out there. And I remember I tore my pec, I think it was 2010 in the preseason. Granted, 2 different positions. I play corner, TJ plays linebacker, he's rushing.
What was your personal timeline on that?
I didn't have surgery because I knew if I had surgery, I would be out for the year. So what I did was I just missed the entire preseason, and then I think I was ready to go by the start of the regular season. So I think I told my pec was the first preseason game that we had. Now, for him, it's different. because he has to be able to, get guys off of him, pull and make guys move with his movements. And he's playing against guys who are 300-plus pounders. Me personally, I was able to get through the season with a torn pec, not having surgery, because I'm playing against wide receivers. And, of course, if I had opportunities to enlarge with blockers, I was able to protect myself. It's hard for him, so I don't know exactly the status. Granted, he has to get a scan to kind of see exactly how significant the injury is, but if TJ Watt is out for the entire season, I mean, you still like the Steelers' chances to be competitive because they're a well-coached bunch, but they're not at their best if he's not in the lineup.
Yeah, he really makes that defense go, and he is one of the heartbeats of the team. We know that these guys know their bodies better than anyone else, and you could see the concern on his face.
Yeah, you know it, because when you tear it, it's a pop. And you feel it, and it instantly hurts.
You have been a part of defensive groups that have lost that heartbeat before. Emotionally, what is this Steelers team going to go through here over the next couple of days when they do get final word on what the extent of the injury is?
Well, next man up mentality has always been the Steeler way, and they always feel like if there's a question within the personnel side of things, the answer is there in the building. And that has been the mindset for quite some time. So if there is, hypothetically speaking, a season-ending type injury, if this is a season-ending type injury for Watt, they believe the answer is in the building. Now, will that answer give the same type of results like TJ? No, because he's one of one.
1 hour in, and we are just getting started. Ties, wins, injuries. We're covering it all here on HQ with the best in the business. Brent McFadden, stay put. More of everything next.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.